Today I'll be analyzing Euro USD, showing you exactly what happened and the exact moves that you could have caught using ICT concepts. This is using the 2022 ICT Mentorship Model and the ICT One Setup for Life. So we're on the 5-minute time frame, and I'm just going to be going over the different trades on previous day's price action, which was on Friday. So we're starting off, if we're looking here at Asia session. After Asia session printed, we'll zoom in here. I want you guys to take notice. So you see how after Asia session ended, Asia kill zone, we go and we sweep Asia session low right here. So this is obviously sell side liquidity. What do we notice after price sweeps this low? We see that we get a break of this high, and this high. So in that case, we have a market structure shift. What also do we see after the market structure shift? We see that we have these two fair value gaps. So we have these two fair value gaps right here. And if we draw a fib from this low to this high, we can see price comes back around the 50%. So you could have potentially caught a trade here, because if you see on London Open, we tapped into this gap and we gave a reaction and we went higher. So what would your target would have been? Well, you trade liquidity, you can enter at liquidity and exit at liquidity. So price went to this buy side liquidity, which was also Asia kill zone high. Now after that happened, what do we see? We see price broke below this low and price broke below that low. So in this case, we also have another market structure shift. And let's make that go to the bottom. So we have another market structure shift. What do we see? We see a gap here and a gap here. So we can mark out fair value gaps. We have this gap, and we have this gap. So then you could have potentially went short from one of these areas. Your first target could have been this low, which was the lowest point during London kill zone. So that would have been sell side liquidity. And then your other target could have been this low, which was the lowest point that took out Asia session liquidity. All right. Now another thing that you might notice is after we tapped into these gaps, we broke below this low. So that is another market structure shift. And we also have this big gap within here. So we also have a fair value gap. You can see price goes up to the 50% and then it reacts off. Then we get another break below here, fair value gap, it reacts off of it, and then we finally take out that low. So now, if we see during New York session, we have this low that was created here, so we could draw that out. That's potential sell side liquidity. Now, if you see price here looks like it may have tapped this low, but it didn't. If you look at the individual candle, the lowest point is 1.14245. The lowest point of this green candle is also 1.14245. So these are equal lows. It did not sweep. So I would not have looked for a trade. However, regardless, if you see price did break this high here, so we had a market structure shift, and then price went and took out this high, which is clear buy side liquidity, and price went and took out this high as well, which is also buy side liquidity. So maybe you could have found a setup in there, but me personally, I wouldn't have looked for a trade. However, again, it's just moving from liquidity to liquidity. Now what do we see after? We'll move this slightly out of the way. Oops. We'll move this out of the way if we can. There we go. What do we see after New York kill zone ends? Price sweeps the New York kill zone high. So obviously that's buy side liquidity. What do we see after that? We see price has a market structure shift below this low right here. So we have a market structure shift, and we'll change that to here. But there is no fair value gap so for me, there would have been no entry. However, price did continue down, and you could target it possibly this low if you got a trade. And then obviously there's these equal lows down here, which price never reached, but it almost reached there. So maybe Sunday or Monday we'll get down there, or you might never. I don't know. It's a new trading day, so I wouldn't even worry about it. So one thing we see is after lunch session, which is 12 to 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., we sweep out the lunch low, which obviously, again, that's liquidity, and we get a break above this high right here. So we do get a market structure shift. However, once again, no fair value gap. However, we do go up, and we sweep buy side liquidity here, which is obviously the lunch high. We sweep that right at the end of PM session. And then what does price do? Price also reverses, goes lower, takes out this sell side liquidity, all this liquidity right here, and then it goes lower almost to this low. So that was the price action for Euro USD on Friday. It was pretty clean. London session was obviously the cleanest and gave a bunch of different moves. New York session, depending on your entry model, maybe you could have found a trade. Still just going from liquidity to liquidity. So this was the analysis. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.